So I mentioned the fact that I will be doing, I'm actually going to do backgroundings first this time. I'll be doing a panel on writing mystery comics. I've been fine-tuning it the last couple of days, working on getting the time out. Some of what I will be talking about is the process itself, which is complicated. So the scariest thing I've ever had to write was comedy. Like doing this strip is terrifying to me sometimes. But the hardest thing I've ever had to write, let me fix this so it will look. There we go. The hardest thing I have ever had to write was mystery. Because there are so many little moving pieces, so many intricate elements of it. I'm going to go down to pencils and scooch all that down because otherwise I'm going to ink badly. In fact, I am going to cheat. I've just decided you're going to watch me cheat. And there's nothing you can do about it, so there. What we're going to do is I'm going to fill this selection, shrink selected area. Let's make it 5 is probably good. Let's make it blocky though. Delete. How's that look? Perfect. In fact, I'm going to make it a little bit better. Convert layer. Hopefully this looks better. We shall see. Vector layer. No, it does not. Okay. There you go. Worth a try. All right. But yeah, mystery is far and away the hardest thing I've ever had to write. And so, like, it's also, perhaps unfortunately, one of my favorite things you can do with comics. Because despite it being a lot of work, like in every sense, it is absolutely something I would like to see more of, which is a big part of why I make mystery comics of my own. So it is very exciting to me to have the opportunity to pass on what little I've figured out during my time making comics like these. There we go. To other people. Now, one of the other nice things about it is I was originally going to be a very late shift. They recently posted the schedule, and because I asked nicely, I did get moved. Now, that said, they did specifically ask us not to ask. I gave it a shot just because of how awful my time slot was, and I was extremely polite and like apologized a lot, which hopefully had an impact. I also said that if they couldn't move me, I'd take my time slot because I'd actually marked on the sheet that I'd be happy with that slot by mistake. So it was my fault. But it is something that I was very glad when they had agreed to adjust the time for me. So I'll actually be doing it on Saturday, right before I'm scheduled to start tabling for the day. So that should be fantastic. One of the main things I'll be breaking out is a technique I like to refer to as the web of mystery. It's a combination of other uh, tips and tricks that people have in writing exercises and things like that. That should read as a. I'm not going to worry too much about that since I do think it'll be covered. Oh, no. That'll work. Drawing a parking lot was my first mistake. Um, but yeah, the web of mystery is something I used for both of my mystery books, the one I'm working on now and the one that I just did. And they are big deals for me because they help me figure out how to streamline the process dramatically and have been very helpful for me to figure out uh, the tips and tricks I would need to be good at putting together a mystery on the fly, like being quick about it. And it's a mixture of a lot of things. I was actually going over the hero's journey wheel that anyone who has done creative writing is probably familiar with. I have some serious issues with this particular wheel, but it's an important reference because if you break them down, most stories follow this wheel. Like there's a pattern to a lot of storytelling that you very rarely see broken. Even the most iconoclastic works typically follow specific patterns. Um, Obviously, there are exceptions, but they are very rare. There we go. We good? We good. Cool. I just drew everything on the wrong layer. Fortunately, nothing that intersected with anything, so I'm just going to leave it because it's too much work to copy it all over. It's not really going to affect much. It's going to be a silhouette anyway. That's panel 2, inked. But yeah, I'm excited to be passing this on. I've gotten to talk about a lot of mystery stuff. Actually, I have with me a book from one of my favorite mystery series, the Kindaichi Case Files. Strongly recommended if you're ever able to find one of these. Unfortunately, they are very rare because they've been out of print since I think the last print run probably happened in the 2000s, maybe. I think it might have been the 90s when it went out of print. So it's hard to track down. I'd grab any copy I can find that I don't already have. Um, so his chin isn't strong enough in this, is it? Nope. I can flesh that out on the fly. I started thinking a little bit of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Ooh, too thick. Square eyebrows are a big deal. That's just a little tell that I really like. It's a face detail that is really going to help me center him. That's part of the trick. His mouth needs to be higher, which in this case, I just want to make it smaller. Yep, that's the trick. That's what I needed to do. But yeah, it has been exciting going back over these mystery series that have affected me as much as they have. Kindaichi there will be heavily referenced in my talk. I've timed the talk, and from what I've written so far, I have an hour. My talking points are at the 21-minute mark. But a big part of what I'm going to be doing is a group exercise. So I think I'm pretty close to where I need to be. I'll be testing the way all of this works. Oop, I need to, it's cut off by the vehicle. I'll be refining for the next week, getting everything ready before the big day. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I show up and no one's there. But if that's the case, I'm planning on recording it. Hopefully, it goes better than my recording of the panel at Space where the audio got kind of screwed up. But if I can get it to work, I think that would be pretty cool. And I would absolutely love to show it to people. The other advantage of that is I might be able to do the panel other places, and I will have a video record of what the panel is like, which is always a nice thing.